For example, when you eat food, you are full. That's literally what market resets are. And people get angry at market resets. You should not be angry at something that's naturally happening, right? So don't be upset if it happens. Be grateful for when there's a market reset because it means it's going in the right direction.
This is exactly what we actually wanted to see on Bitcoin before we get that continuation. And yes, when it comes,
it's literally like going for a marathon. So it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And the crypto markets are kind of like going for a marathon and need to have a water break. Drink some water, rest and recover, and then come back to all-time highs. So we're seeing this every single time there's a pump, basically, even a small one.
So the market, the entire market will sell off with what Bitcoin or even Ethereum does, especially at a time where dominance is as high as it is. Now, if we take a quick step back, we're looking at this on the daily. There is some lovely discounts out there for some great projects. Obviously, you know, a few of these.
Yeah, so people are buying literally these projects at maybe 20% discount. That's what people have been calling them for. So I feel like more people should show this chart. Who has seen most growth? Was it Bitcoin? Why is XRP talk the most, right? 384% in a single year, Bitcoin 80%. So that is insane amounts of growth. Dogecoin 70%. Okay, it's kind of on par with Bitcoin. Cardano 90%. But literally XRP takes the cake with 390% growth. So that to me is literally insane how much this can grow. Solana has been slumping 0.2% and others like, but again, US Stellar, Sui, Chainlink, Hedera, all of these US companies are growing. Is this a coincidence? I think not, guys. So US based companies, I've been very vocal on my channel, are getting bought out like cheesecakes because they are the best ones. They're the safest because if the government is not going to abandon them, what's stopping them from pumping? If the government promised to buy them, it's literally up from here.
Is really not that concerning because
again, not financial advice, but you guys know the drill on this channel. We've been seeing this type of pumps, and that's like literally XRP stocked more than Bitcoin.
Because Bitcoin and even Ethereum are still up on the weekly. XRP down 1.8% on the week. If we look at Sui's actually still green on the weekly. XLM down about 3.9%, and then HBAR is also still up 8.3% on the weekly. So this recent move is not that concerning. Now, do I think that it's going to get a little worse? Yes, I do think that this is going to get a little worse. We'll talk about why, but this is all a part.
This is what I've been saying, like why it's going to get worse is it's just a small dip, right? 112,000 and people are complaining.
Now, the main thing here is how long do we have to wait for all of this to play out? I said 2 weeks, right? I think that the beginning of August is still going to be pretty boring, maybe even get a little bit more downward pressure on Bitcoin.
That's exactly as I predicted. I said August as well. And I feel like also maybe like September, early September, we're going to see some market moves. Again, I could be totally wrong here. But the crypto bill, that's what's really keeping me up late at night, right? The crypto bill is what's really, really hyped. That's what I'm really, really excited for.
So the main focus here is for 2 weeks, some boring, maybe even some negative price action. And then towards the end of August, we should start to really rebound and break back above 120K plus, targeting 130K plus for Bitcoin. And also aligns with the FOMC meeting upcoming in September as well. So Bitcoin, no major change. This is why I kept telling you guys to focus on the daily candle closes, because the second that we lost 117K, and the second that we start to actually kind of wick down below some of these other wicks, or even get the daily candle close like we did, that signals that we're going to see that big drop down to 112K. So far, it's been 114.3K. We bounced back a little bit, and this is typically how sell-offs do happen, right? Like we start to see that long extended pathway to the downside. Now, just like back in May, right, we get that nice run up. We chopped, we continued to chop, and then we finally broke out. This was 48 days. So far, since that high wick, it's been about roughly 18 days. I think that it's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually, build a floor and probably even hit that 112K level So I would give
So the issue I see here is we saw such a big exponential growth. Well, it's not really an issue. It's actually a good point. Like, look at the XRP. We saw such a big growth, and people have been cheering that they will sell everything as it hits 100,000, right? They've been saying, I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to cash out. It's going to be over as soon as I sell it, right? And here we're seeing something else now. What we're seeing is people literally going from I'm gonna sell everything as I'm gonna go for 150k Bitcoin. When we saw people say 4 years ago, as soon as it hits 100k, I think crypto will crash, and we saw crypto hit 100k, and now we're going for the September Fed meeting as going like for more rate cuts or small rate cuts. So right now people are pushing for basically not no change, but how much of a rate cuts are we getting?
everyone's really kind of seeing what happens next. They're trying to guess what happens next. We keep hearing this uncertainty around the Fed, especially around FOMC, the FOMC meeting and what's going to happen next. Because again, during that FOMC meeting, what we heard from the Fed wasn't really that confident about rate cuts and around the economy. He kept saying that.
He kept saying we have to be careful. But again, when you look at the statistics, I guess Jerome Powell knows a lot, and he wants to be very careful we don't enter a recession, right? The entire probably US economy, like he knows trillions and trillions of money is depending on him. But when we check here, the rate cuts are looking good. Like he's always more negative about prices and crypto markets and everything like going down than going up. So I am still bullish. These tariffs, again, just negotiations.
Tariffs, we have Canada, Taiwan, New Zealand, Switzerland, Cambodia, Turkey, Venezuela, South Korea.
These are like negotiations to get a better trade deal. I feel like these are the things that, people shouldn't be that worried about.
Israel, Sri Lanka, and the list goes on. But regardless of this, I'm not too concerned at all with the tariff war or the trade deals. A lot of people are now saying that this is going to cause that mass panic again from like January all the way through the...
Like everybody forgot about that. Everybody was like that. Those tariffs are going to crash everything. And remember, those tariffs were everywhere on the news. And 2 weeks later, nothing about it. People moved on. Nothing happened. People were calling for the biggest recession to happen. It's over. We're never going to be seeing crypto pumps again. And then literally, just at the tip of the iceberg, we saw everything change.
Year up until like roughly May. And they're saying that the market's kind of cooked for a bit. I don't think that it's that concerning at all. I don't think that this is going to cause like a massive crash like it did back here. But I do think that it will cause a deeper sell-off on stocks, which will definitely impact crypto. But even if...
I don't even feel like the tariffs impact the prices anymore. Like people are saying tariffs will destroy crypto. They don't even impact the prices anymore because Trump has literally said he made money from tariffs. So when you read about tariffs, it used to be this is going to crash crypto, but we can see XRP's price prediction here.
40-cent drop on XRP. Is that crazy to see? Not exactly, and it would be another buying opportunity for us if you really wanted to add more, XRP to your portfolio. That would be a good time to really kind of look into it. But outside of like XRP, XLM, doing exactly what we wanted it to do anyways. It's in the blue zone, aka the demand zone. It's retesting those highs from back in March. This is also areas where we have seen resistance form as well. So I would like for us to actually maintain this as the low in terms.
So yeah, he's literally confirming what I have been saying is that XRP is gonna go, and I feel like multiple YouTubers have said this. It's gonna go, try to reach those $3. Again, I feel like maybe we are all gonna be wrong, but it's going literally for the same patterns, and there's gonna be a support level at 263. So 260 is gonna be the lowest. But if we get 260, there has to be some really bad news for this to happen. Like some terrible news to hit 2.6. Again, US companies are the big thing right now in crypto, and I mean, like, why would XRP dip if literally banks want to work with it? If they got the biggest partnerships, it doesn't make any sense, right?